Hello, this is Nathaneal Mohr, and in this video what I'm going to share with you are some very valuable lessons that I've learned at Disney the other day about customer relationship management. And so this video is for you if you are an entrepreneur or small business owner or some kind of marketing manager on a team of some kind, or maybe a larger or part of a large organization that would like to find new ways to increase the power of your customer relationship management strategy, so that way you can get more value out of each and every customer, so that way they become more valuable to your business, as well as gives you an opportunity to provide more value for them. So anyways, at the time that I'm making this video, I just had my 31st birthday, and for my birthday I wanted to take my family as well as my brother's family to Disney. So to Disney World. We live about an hour and a half away from Disney World, so it's really not that big of a deal to make a day like that happen. And so we brought everyone along, and while we were there, one of my key goals was to, of course, increase or make a bunch of great memories with all these important kids, my nieces, my nephews, and my two daughters. Make all these great memories. So, I'm running around and getting down on their level and really enjoying the time that we have together, and just jamming out really all day long. And about 2 o'clock, my 1.5-year-old Maya, she fell asleep in her mother's arms, and so right when everyone was about to go on another ride. And so what I did was I took Maya, and I told everyone to go ahead on the next ride, and I was just going to walk around and hang out with her, right? So I have Maya on my shoulder, and we're walking around, and I'm at this area that looks kind of like a jungle, I'm in this area that kind of looks like a jungle, and I noticed this tiki hut that kind of looks like a safe haven in a jungle, and so I walk over there, and I'm sitting there holding her and looking around, and a Disney employee approached me and says, asked me how my day's going, and just kind of just curious about my experience. And I started talking about my family and all the good times that we were having, and while I was standing there, talking to her, I saw this brochure, right? So this brochure right here, and so I picked it up, and while we were talking, I looked and just scanned it, and it said save up to 70%. In my eyes, skimmed down to this part where it says ask me how. Now I'm going to tell you first off that I'm not the kind of person that asks for help at stores or anything like that. So I can tell you right now that I would not have asked how or asked anything about this brochure at Disney if we weren't already engaging in a conversation about something that was interesting to me, which is my experience that I was having with the product or with Disney, right? So our first lesson to think about with your customer relationship management strategy is to engage with your customers while they're having the experience of your product or service. And side note, just so you know, some of you are going to say something like, I don't want to, what if some of them aren't happy? I don't really want to interrupt them or kind of wake a sleeping giant kind of thing if they're not satisfied. I'd rather just let them kind of move along. Well, I'm going to tell you right now that they won't buy from you again if they're not happy, so you might as well address anything if there's any kind of issues. But when they are happy, you have a really powerful, the very beginnings of something amazing. And if they're not happy, you have an opportunity to turn that around, but only if you talk to them, right? So anyways, so I'm having this conversation with this Disney employee, and I ask about this brochure that I would have never asked about, except for we were already having a conversation about the product that I was enjoying. And she starts to give me a very soft and non-intrusive sales conversation about a vacation club. And while she's talking about it, I flip over the brochure to see, 1, 2, 3, some simple instructions about how to see a presentation about this vacation club while I'm listening to her tell me about it. And then I realized another important point about increasing the lifetime value of your customers with your customer relationship management strategy. And that is, of course, that we want to give our customers clear, concise, very simple instructions to either get as much out of our experience or get as much out of our product or service, or to get as much out of possibly buying something else. So we want to make sure that we're constantly, all of our communications are clear, concise, and directive with clear instructions on what we should do next. So as I'm reading through these instructions, I realize that, pretty much all of my objections that I could possibly have about not pulling my family away and going and sitting in on a sales pitch were pretty much answered just about in these 3 steps here. And so that's kind of our third big lesson here is every communication that we have with our customers is an opportunity to answer the objections to anything they might have, whether that be, depending upon the goals that you have. If your goal is to get them to continue to purchase from you, we want to answer those objections. If our goal is to get them to maybe upgrade something, then we want to answer those objections. Whatever the objections could be standing in between where we are and our highest potential for our customers, what we want to do is we want to find opportunities to answer those objections, right? With all of our communications. So I'm sitting here and I'm listening to this Disney employee tell me about this presentation. I'm reading these simple steps, and all of my objections are being answered as I read the simple steps. And she's talking about all the memories that people seem to make while they're part of this vacation club. And I literally went from minding my own business and experiencing a product that I've already invested in, and I'm enjoying it. I was enjoying it, by the way, to considering a massive upgrade for my own personal experience, my family's experience, as well as a massive upgrade as far as profit potential as a customer for Disney. And so I realized, wow, that's a pretty cool little process. And so what I wanted to point out to you today is that as long as you actively engage in what's interesting or the goals of your customers, the goals that your customers have with your product or service, if you actively engage while they're experiencing your product and service about those goals, you give them clear instructions on what they should do next, whether that be upgrading or continue to purchase from you, and you answer the objections that they might have about those things, it's very likely that you're going to have a lot of your customers either buy more from you, buy again from you, or upgrade their experience with you. So that's kind of the big aha kind of moment that I wanted to share with you. And I hope you get value from that, or I hope you're able to use the value from that. I know I've kind of jumped around with this because it's a story, and there's also a couple pretty powerful points here. So underneath this video, what I'll do is I'll outline the actual steps to getting as much out of this customer relationship management strategy that I'm describing. Also, a couple other notes that I realized that day at Disney is all of their marketing material, just so you know, is either is selling either potential like or magic or something like the potential of the experience that you can have at Disney, or they're selling memories. And what that really is, when they're selling memories, they're selling the potential or the benefits of the benefit that they're selling, right? Does that make sense? So what they're selling is they're selling not just the experience, but the benefits of having that experience. So a question to ask yourself if you'd like to make your marketing even more effective today than it was yesterday is ask yourselves, what are the key emotional benefits that your customers or clients get from buying from you? And then ask yourself, after you figure that, write those down, you want to ask yourselves, what are the benefits that they receive from those benefits, right? And that will bring them that much further down the rabbit hole and that much closer to getting the benefits of experiencing purchasing from you. Okay, so anyways, but I'm going to outline all this stuff underneath the video at guaranteedprofit.com. So if you have any questions about customer relationship management or increasing the value of your customers after they've purchased from you, feel free to ask them here on the blog. That's pretty much what we're here for. And other than that, I hope you have a really great day. By the way, I do read all the questions, so feel free to send them, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.